Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos, not possible without the continued support from Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. How good is Shannons Insurance? You know, the other insurance companies reckon they're good, but when you look around the car shows, where are they? Shannons give us as enthusiasts just so much more. It doesn't matter if you have a classic bike, a classic car, a classic truck, house and contents insurance. Bundle it all together and get it with Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a chat? 134646. There's also the Shannons Club, where you can sign up to become a member of. You can list your own car clubs there. You can search for other car clubs there and interact with fellow enthusiasts such as ourselves. The Shannons Club truly is your garage. Visit them at shannons.com.au. How nice is this? It's got the good oil in it too, from Penrite. If you're after the best in oils, coolants, fuel additives, so much more, use Penrite. They've been established since 1926. They've stood the test of time. They're Australian made and Australian owned, and those two aspects are becoming very hard to find these days. Penrite are experienced. They have a technical assistance line to help us 7 days a week for your oil, coolant or fuel additive application. Find out more when you visit Penrite online at penriteoil.com.au. And oil right. Use Penrite. Simply a better class of oil. And on today's riveting show, I have returned to Australia's birthplace. Welcome to the 2015 Kurnell Nationals Car and Bike Show. What a cool little event this is, but the little aspect is definitely changing. I have watched the Kurnell Nationals turn into one of Sydney's now larger events. It's put on by the dedicated people of the New South Wales Streeters and is backed by a handful of willing sponsors to keep this show on the road. And like most car show events, proceeds from entrants are off to a great cause. And in this case, it's the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation. Here we have an event that promotes and showcases just about any type of on-road vehicle. You'll see standard cars, custom cars, and the same goes for bikes as well. As our classic vehicle fraternity grows each year, the cars and bikes that we see become a large part of people's lives. Every vehicle here on the field has a history. These car shows are the legacy to their preservations. With me now, Rod Phillips, the Vice President here today, the 2015 Kurnell Nationals Car and Bike Show. How are you, Rod?
Yeah, good, Fletch.
That's right, mate, you've done it again. You've hit it on the head.
Yeah, we're looking at about 300 cars and that so far, so a bit over, everything from your classics to your vintage to your hot rods, bikes and that as well.
It's pretty cool too when you think of Kurnell being fairly remote, like out on the coast here, and it just doesn't matter. It just goes to show that a car show with a great reputation and great cars turning up, doesn't matter where they are just getting bigger and bigger, aren't they, in most cases?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. With all the sponsors and that, the show's going to go ahead and that, and all the people bringing their cars and bikes out and that, really makes the whole day and good day for the whole family.
Now, we can see a cross-section of vehicles here. What can we expect to see, Rod?
Oh, you can see anything from your full like drag cars and that, we've got your classics, so all different types of...
Pretty well open to everything, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Good on you, mate. Now, always off to a good cause as well. Want to mention your charity?
Yeah, we're raising money today for Cure Brain Cancer Foundation, which was Charlie Chio. Yep. He runs that, so...
Good on you, mate. You're watching the show and you want to get in touch with these guys, New South Wales Streeters. How do we do it, Rod?
Yeah, you'll find us on Facebook under NSW Streeters.
Well done. Hey, again, we've got a car fraternity all working for a great cause. Rod, thanks for having me back for this year.
No worries, thanks, Fletch.
All right, mate. Good on you. Take care, eh?
Thank you.
Okay, first cab off the rank today isn't actually a cab. We do have a classic bike. How are you, Paul?
I'm pretty good, Fletch. Nice to see you.
Thank you, mate. Harley Davidson, a 1938 knucklehead.
It is, mate. Believe it or not, 1938 police special from South Australia. It was built by a friend of my brother-in-law's by the name of Bob Fowson, so the credit really's got to go to Bob.
Mate, it's a classic bike. I mean, it just looks so good. It stands out here today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice bike. Hopefully, yeah, it's appreciated.
Well, it is by me anyway.
Well, it is time, me too. Hasn't been out for a while.
Yeah, it's not every day of the week, mate, you see a 1938 knucklehead like this.
Mate, I just put a carby kit through it because my float disintegrated with this new modern fuel. She just shriveled up like a prune, mate. It was pretty scary. So I ordered the kit, I put it through it. I fired it up yesterday for the first time in 4 years. I've been really sick. Yeah. And she fired second kick, mate. So
good on you, Paul. And just before you go, mate, what size is the V-twin?
It's 1,000 cc's, this one, yeah.
Well, Paul, thanks for bringing out the knucklehead, mate. It's not an easy day here today. It's this time of year. It's certainly not cool out here.
Oh, mate, we've got a perfect day. Conditions are great. Thanks to you and your sponsors, Shannons and Penrite. Thumbs up, guys. Best all around.
And the new
mate, I use it.
And the New South Wales Streeters. Well done. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Fletch.
Moving through the bike section, as you do here at Kurnell. How are you, Robert?
Not too bad, mate.
Now, this is pretty cool. Tell us about this bike. I want to know the year, the make.
It's a 1936 VFD 1200cc side valve Harley Davidson.
It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, especially when people ask you about it. Like a lot of people, they've never seen one of these things. In fact, I've never seen a great number of them around either.
Robert, I love the sidecar. What can you tell us about it?
Well, when I got interested in the bike about 40 years ago, I bought it for $250 down in Stanmore. Actually, it was next to Newington College. And I've always been intrigued by sidecars. So I said to the guy I bought it from, I'd like a sidecar. Do you see anywhere I could buy one? So he said, look, I've got a mate who's got one. So he got it over at Narwee. It cost me $37 to buy the sidecar. It had some fittings on it, but they were actually set up to go onto a U model Harley, which is a 1937 upwards. So I had to work off old pictures and bits and pieces, and I actually made up got the castings done so I could actually put it on the bike. My mother-in-law made the Tournay cover that fits over it, and the upholstery inside it was gone, so I think I got every book there is possible on upholstery in Sutherland Library and took it out and worked out how to actually do upholstery.
Robert, tell us about the engine.
Okay, the engine's 1936. It's a 1200cc side valve. It's 1207.5cc, which is 73 point something or other cubic inches.
Okay, Robert, just in ending, mate, interesting features of the bike. What can you tell us?
Well, it has interchangeable wheels, front, bank and sidecar. That's if you've got the Harley sidecar as well. And one of the accessories you could buy was actually a spare wheel. So if anything went wrong, you could just take the wheel off, put another one on, and away you go again.
See, back in the days of simplicity and lateral thinking.
And what it's got, it's the 3-speed gearbox, hand change.
I love that.
If anybody knows where I can get a reverse gearbox, Fletch, I'd love to meet them. Okay, thanks, mate.
It's cool, mate. Thank you very much, Robert.
No worries at all. Thank you.
When it comes time for the best in classic vehicle, home and contents insurance, you can't go past Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote on 134646. You can also sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club, where you can list your car club and search for other car clubs there as well. And the Penrite Technical Assistance Team is there to help us. They've been established since 1926, Australian made, Australian owned. Find out more when you visit Penrite at penriteoil.com.au. You're watching the 2015 Kurnell Nationals Car and Bike Show, and you're watching it first on Classic Restos. Back with more after this. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, Fletch.
That's the way. This is a gorgeous car, absolutely beautiful. One of the nicest XP four-door cars I've seen in a long time. 1966?
66, yeah. Full ground-up rebuild, 4 years, but worth every cent.
Steve, you should be very, very proud of yourself with this car.
Oh, yeah, I am. I enjoy it now. It's only just on the road, but...
It doesn't matter what angle you look at this XP Falcon from, it is sensational. Mate, the colour, what was it originally?
It was sunlit beige. Yep. That was the original colour. So everything was original on it. So I brought it back to the same. Yep. Same motor, rebuilt and everything. So basically everything was back to original. So I tried to keep it the same. So it looks a lot better when it's original.
Okay, we've got a Super Pursuit badge there. Is it running a 200?
A 200, yes. It's been rebuilt and bought out 40,000, but everything. But I wanted to keep the original block, so it was worth every cent.
There's a lot to be said for the straight Falcon 6. So they were an incredible engine, weren't they?
Yeah, very good.
I think what's nice here, Steve, is that you've got the last of the XP, the last of the run before the transition into the XR.
In the XR, that's right, yeah. This one's right on the end of it. They tell me it's a little bit of a rare beast because it's actually running an XR compliance plate, not an XP compliance plate. So we don't know why. So, and it's original numbers, and I've got the original book. So
There you go, Ford Gurus. Check that out. Now, isn't that interesting? Wow, that is interesting, isn't it?
it is, yeah. It'd be interesting to find out why and why it is that way. But
There'd be a theory behind it. The interior is absolutely amazing as well. You know, this simplicity thing, the simpleton of it all. It's just beautiful. Look at that dashboard, and wow, you could just stare at that for hours.
that's right, yeah. They're a nice old beast. I had the interior completely redone. Tried to match it original, but very hard to match old 66s. They don't make that stuff, but it's close enough. It's, you know, I'm happy with it, and it's a cool ride.
Steve, I love the white steering wheel.
Yeah, I love that too, yeah. It's just one of those things, you know, we did up, you know, repainted it and sort, you know, make it look original.
It's a bit cooler on a hot day as well.
Yeah.
Instead of being 135 degrees, when you touch it, it's more like around 100.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's exactly right. You're not wrong there, and there's not much of it either.
Every time I actually see one of these XPs, I wait for Leonard Teal to jump out of it. It reminds me of Homicide.
That's right, yep. That's one of my home pages. Got a photo of that too. It's where I think I remember the car from.
Did it cross your mind to paint it white and put a little siren in the middle of the bonnet?
Thought about it, but I've always had white cars before, and everyone said you're not painting it white this time. So I said, okay, original colour.
Steve, pleasure catching up with you, mate. I love the car. Thank you very much for bringing you along here today.
Thank you. Thanks, Fletch.
Okay, time for Henry now on today's show. How are you, Henry?
Good, thanks, Fletch.
Good, mate. Good to see Henry, who's got a Holden.
Holden HG Ute.
You had to stop and think about what one he had there for a second. Now, you've pulled off a trophy here today, Henry. What one's that?
Yeah, I've got two trophies. I've got top Ute runner-up and top engine bay runner-up.
Have a look at the engine bay. Sensational work, mate. Where did you start with this? Did you have this vision in mind, or did it just end up like this?
Well, I used to have a Monaro, which was a bit of a show car, and I thought I'll build something a bit more streetable. But like every project, they get out of hand, and we are where we are today. The car was pretty clean. I've had it on the road now for about 15 years. And 2 years ago, we finished the engine bay. Took about, again, one of those projects, supposed to be 3 months. Took a year and a half. But I'm very happy with the result, obviously, and yeah.
It still has a simplistic look around the engine bay, doesn't it?
I've purposely tried to keep it as simple as possible, as minimal as possible. People stand there and say that it doesn't even run, but it certainly does.
It looks so good, but yet it's still so uncluttered. The ceramic coated exhaust headers as well, the extractors just top it off too. What a good thing.
It's really good, yeah, but a lot of polish. It shines, but it's so much polishing involved.
But that's the therapy though, Henry, and I bet I know what you do. You go into your shed some nights with the rag and you pull the door down and you just have a bit of a polish here and there, eh?
Forget where you are. It's the best thing. Yeah.
That's it. No, there's car guys know that. Now we look at the cooling system there. You got twin thermo fans. How does it run sitting in traffic? Does it behave itself?
It's actually quite good. It used to have a bit of heating problems, but we've locked out the distributor now, and seems to have cured all the problems. And it's a very hot day today. I drove it here. I'm going to drive it home.
Look, it's all about airflow. I mean, goodness me, you know, we've all been through it, and radiators have only got to be 20, 30, 40% or partially blocked, and up they go in traffic. If you can get your radiator cores right, your thermo fans working right, and your thermostat right, you shouldn't have any drama, should you?
No, it goes really good, and as long as traffic's a bit of a nightmare, but as long as you keep out of the traffic, it's pretty good, yeah.
It was the old story too, the more horsepower that you're making too, the more heat that's generated.
Yeah, that's true, and it's not a massive engine. It's still a cast iron heads, cast iron block. They run 11.9s at Eastern Creek, which I was happy with. So yeah, so.
It's not too shabby. I mean, you'd be the quickest bloke in the street to go and get the milk and bring it home.
Yeah.
Now we look at the picture board there. The condition of the body when you got it, Henry, it was a good score. Looks like a good shell to start with.
Yeah, a couple of panel beaters owned it, and they were starting to do it up, and it was just one of those projects. They lost interest in it. And I was lucky to find the shell, but it was in the good old days when it was, I think I paid about $1,200 for it, and you know, you don't find them for that now.
Who would have ever have thought that we would have turned up at a car show all these years later and, you know, seen a 71, a Belmont Ute or a Kingswood Ute sitting in the paddock? It's incredible times, isn't it?
Yeah, they're very hard to find now, and considering I sold a HG GDS Monaro for $5,000, you know, and back in the 90s, whereas now I wished I had it.
Don't talk about that stuff, Henry. It'll only depress you. Thanks for being on today's show,
Thank
mate.
you very much, Fletch. Thank you.
And congratulations on your trophy win.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. There's just some of the 2015 Kurnell Nationals car and bike show. And I'm sure you'll agree that Rod and the team, the New South Wales Streeters, have yet again done a wonderful job. ClassicRestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD box sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contacting us regarding joining us on a Fletch tour, and the major sponsors as well. As I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.